Now you may ask how many people come into that state of being completely locked in or locked in. The answer is not easy. There is no worldwide statistics available which would tell us the exact numbers, because many of these people live at home or in home for the aged or in isolated rehabilitation homes. So we can only estimate the number. Now, if we take people with so-called amyotrophic lateral sclerosis, in the United States we have about 500,000 people who have that disease. And from that 500,000 patients a year, about 90% decide not to go on respiration when they lose respiratory capacity, and which means they die. So there are only 5 to 6% remaining who survive and who want to live and then need a communication device. So these are not many. There are many, there are several thousands in the US who would need such a device. If all those 95% who say, I don't want to live in that state, would say, I want to live, then we have 500,000 a year who need a communication device. That's first. Secondly, we have many people who are particularly at the end stage of their diseases cannot communicate anymore, despite that they could. And there are some names for this. One is called the apallic syndrome or vegetative state. After incidents, car incidents, traumatic brain injury of different kinds, intoxications of the brain with part destruction of the brain, all, and of course very severe stroke, particularly so-called subcortical stroke, people end up locked in. So we don't have exact numbers, but again, these are hundreds of thousands of people a year who end in a locked-in state or in a completely locked-in state, and they are very often misdiagnosed as people in vegetative state or apallic state. And we found in a survey, and a group in Belgium also found that about 20, in Belgium 35%, of patients diagnosed as apallic or vegetative state are in reality partly locked in. And that means these people could communicate if they would have a system for communication, if somebody would teach them this system.